too. Knows about the grind. Yeah, the bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again. Well, hello, Nasties. How you doing? It's Tuesday, right? Tuesday afternoon. At least the sun is out. Welcome to EST Afternoons. Joaquin, Gage, Hernan, Salas. Our producer, Zachary H. Cube. Welcome to Edmonton Sports Talk, live here from the William Huff Studios in the west side of the city. Fun show coming up. Of course, we're gonna break it down brick by brick. Dissect this puppy that we saw last night as the Oilers fall 6-5 in a heartbreaking fashion. What a whirlwind day of emotions. Woo! There's lots to get to. We're going to have highlights, lowlights. It's going to be called the Bouchard segment because he was bad in the defense. Bouchard is just a crazy player right now. Crazy. He was a +1. Like, he was on, I think, for 4 goals. He was on against for 3. Like, he's just all over the place. But we're going to break it all down here in the first hour. Coming up in the second hour, our good buddy, Lee Hacksaw Hamilton, will join us. He will talk NHL playoffs. He's out on the West Coast as well. But we're also going to get a quick look at the NFL draft that goes this Thursday. Of course, a lot of NFL fans that listen to our stations and watch us. So Lee Hacksaw Hamilton, an absolute beauty. He will join us in the second hour. But lots to get to regarding Oilers-Kings Game 1. Like always, slam that thumbs up. We're trying to get to 150 every day here. We failed yesterday. We were 4 short, Joaquin. We never made it, so hopefully today we can. I know people are a little bit down after Game 1 loss, but let's hammer that thumbs up. Let's hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Also, text us, River Cree inbox 780-218-9999. And of course, like always, the River Cree inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. Joaquin, you're looking sharp today, my friend.
Thank you.
I like the shirt. You got a cool belt buckle on. You saw your old coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good, eh?
Yeah. That's he's great. He's awesome. God, he's funny, man.
It was great. Of course, we're not going to share, but like we were all in a circle talking about the game, and a guy that's coached and the guy that's been around great players and all that. It's always interesting to hear their takes on games and all that. So it was great. But Joaquin, should we get to it right away or wait a bit? What say you? Because you already did a hit on Nielsen's show. You did 2 guys and a goal. You're probably tired of talking Oilers.
It's funny because I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Oilers season. Maybe it's just EST afternoons. The excitement of it all, the anticipation. Like 8:22 couldn't come fast enough yesterday for me. Just as I wanted to see what happened, and then they had the harmonicas. I'm like, what is happening right now? And then the Oilers are playing like it's game 46.
Oh boy,
in San Jose or something. It was just there was nothing, and I was so I had a lot of anticipation just because I was looking at a few other series, and after watching the first period of the Ottawa-Toronto series, I thought that this series would have a little bit more physical juice, and the Kings came to play like it was the playoffs for the first 40 minutes. Oilers didn't. 39 and a half minutes. And it took 2 of the best players on the planet to get a little bit angry, start yelling on the bench, and decided to take it upon themselves to do something about it. Now, there's a lot of things that went on in that game, and we've been talking about all of them, and it was fun to be able to vent a little bit. It's almost cathartic to vent, to talk about it a little bit more. But and I know we'll get to it most likely tomorrow. We're still going to talk about last night, but what happens now? What happens now?
We got. Tomorrow's a whole day of teeing up. Now, we do have some news. This is coming from Chris Knobloch's availed today. So I think fans are gonna like this news, and I'm just pulling it up here. All right. Chris Knobloch said he's waiting on Kane and Klingberg as possible options for Game 2. Klingberg is a very good possibility, which means Josh Brown will come out. Klingberg will play more than 454. He will. He moves the puck better. I don't know about the physicality, but he is an upgrade on their 6 defensemen from yesterday. That's plain and simple, so that's a good sign. Evander Kane, I'm intrigued who the hell comes out of the lineup. I'll be honest. I didn't like Jeff Skinner's game. I'll be honest. I remember in the first period, Dusty and I were sitting there at BP's twice. Gage, he had a chance to finish the check, and he circled. You can't do that when you're a guy that's a bubble guy to come out of the lineup when Evander Kane. Because Evander Kane's healthy, he's playing, man.
Yeah, and when you see your leaders do it, what gives you the right to pass up opportunities to lay a lick? It's all about wearing the other team down, right? And what happens when, especially D-men, when they know they're going to get hit every single time? You could see the game plan is to try to force. I mean, this isn't every series, but to try to force the D-men to do things and make them uncomfortable before they can make a play. Like every time Bouchard's got the puck, you can see an LA King going to finish his check, right? Like they know that could be a weak link in the armor of the Edmonton Oilers. And so when you pass up those opportunities, you're giving the team a chance, and it just can't happen. So yeah, he's out.
Yeah, I because he's not taking Brown or Janmark or Podkolzin and all.
They're physical. You can't play a non-physical game, unfortunately. And
yeah,
I had all high hopes for Skinner.
Me too.
And and I think I saw it was in the dressing room, and Connor McDavid gave Jeff Skinner like the heavyweight belt and had a little spiel of, this guy's waited so long to play his first game, and here it is. Here's your chance. This is playoff hockey. You can't tell me he hasn't watched the playoffs. He's had ample last 15 years to watch a game and see how physical it is, and he sat on the bench and saw the change. But you gotta sacrifice. It's all about sacrifice.
Jen says, damn it, I lost it now. Oh, Klingberg, no thanks. What a terrible signing. Well, he's better than Josh Brown. Let's just leave it at that. Joaquin, Knobloch also said he hasn't decided on a Game 2 starter. Surprised?
No.
He could be just saying that.
He wants to keep... Look.
It's going to be Skinner.
I'm pretty sure it could be Pickard. I'm not saying it isn't. But what he's saying there is completely different from what he's told probably both goalies. They know probably now who's playing tomorrow. He won't allow. It's not like he'll get to the rink tomorrow before the game. Yeah, you know what? You're going.
I just think, Joaquin, and you're a former goaltender, played pro. I just don't think they pull Skinner after one game, because then you're destroying him.
No, you got to give him a chance here.
Yeah,
got to give him a chance.
I think he gets Game 2.
Yeah, but he has to be better, man.
He has to show up. He has to be better. Now, okay, let's start. There's so much to break down in this game. I'm glad we have 2 hours. Because, listen.
Where do you want to go first? What's your plan of attack?
Let's start with Stuart.
Let's eat this elephant one bite at a time.
Let's start with Stuart Skinner.
Okay,
because last night we had, and it's only a few, we're blaming Skinner on all 6 goals, which is ridiculous. It is. It's beyond ridiculous. I didn't like 2 goals. You made a good point, I think, earlier today, talking just in the bullpen there. You still need a save. And listen, the giveaways were terrible, Joaquin, but one of those you would like a save. They're tough, and we're going to watch them in the second segment. But for me, I thought Stuart Skinner at 2-0 made some really big saves, Joaquin. I don't think he was as bad. Listen, this is not Hernan saying Stuart Skinner's not at fault. He's a part of why they lost 6-5, and he needs to be 100% better. But I'm not going to sit here, Joaquin, and say all 6 goals were Stuart Skinner's fault.
Oh, no. I mean, look, I said you'd like a save. You need a save. And it's frustrating to hear. You know what? He made some pretty good saves. Yeah, they were good. They were saves. They were just saves.
Okay.
Those are saves that an NHL goaltender should make, because the ones that everyone's saying, yeah, he made some good saves in the third and after the second goal. Yeah, but if he lets one of those in, it's a bad goal. So he's got to find another gear. He's stuck in third, I would say right now. He's got to get to fourth. Yeah. And then get to fifth. But you don't get past, you don't win rounds without goalies taking goals away from the other team. And yesterday, both goalies were subpar. Look at their save percentage. Like they both did not have great nights. Not in the NHL playoffs. They both need to be better if they want their team to win. I really do think that this series is going to come down to goaltending.
Yeah, because let's flip it to the other side. Like you mentioned, Kemper wasn't tested in the first 40 minutes. He faced 10 shots.
Man, I was jealous.
Yeah.
I was like, geez, I wish I would have had games like that.
And then when McDavid went nuclear, like every time they shot the puck on net, it went in, or it looked like it looked like a great chance. Like he got a piece of it, like the Arvidsson one, almost to win it. Both goalies 800 save percentage. Both are going to need a lot more. Right. So listen, I still think Stuart Skinner gets a start in game 2, because pulling him, I think just because let's say Pickard gets lit up in game 2, then you're going to go back to Skinner, who's already fragile because you pulled him after one game. That's why I think he gets game 2. You agree?
I just think he gets game 2 because he's your guy. Right. And he's earned the opportunity to come back with a game, I think. But he has to be one of the, if not the best Edmonton Oiler game 2.
Rob from
in
LA,
a win or a loss.
Yeah. Rob from LA says, stop with the just finished checks narrative. It's not necessary in every play. Rob, sure. But for a guy like Jeff Skinner, it is, because he's a bubble guy in this lineup. And if you're gonna pass up checks, you're gonna be out of the lineup. And he probably will. So I get what you're saying. You not every shift you have to go there and finish your checks. Sure, I get it.
But when you can, you finish every single check. You can't pass up an opportunity.
No, you can't. You just can't. All right. Special teams, Oilers power play. It just looked like they're a little bit off. I'm not too worried about it. I think they'll find their juice. The PK, I mean, a 5-on-3 goal. The first goal, Josh Brown gets caught in no man's land. I know the panel on Sportsnet tried to play it off that it was just, it was a great pass. But Josh Brown needs to be alert that Kuzmenko's behind him. I'll say this about Andrei Kuzmenko. He was all over the ice yesterday.
You liked his game, huh?
He was great, man.
He's kind of he hearing him in Vancouver, and then when he went to Calgary there, he's obviously well liked. Like he's kind of the crazy Russian guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like him and Fiala were high-fiving stuff. He seems like a really good team player. And you know, when he's gone to a new team, he seems to have success right off the hop and then fades out later. But that's a formidable line with him, Kempe, and Kopitar. That's because Kopitar is just a beast that can control the puck.
Yeah.
And Kempe and they're just shooters, right? Yeah. They like to shoot the puck.
Yeah, it's listen, let's get back to Josh. Listen, the Oilers didn't lose because of Josh Brown. Let's make that clear, okay? But he played .454, Joaquin. And listen, I don't know if Cam Dineen plays, if he plays the same amount of minutes, maybe a little bit more. It's not sustainable to ride these 4 guys in the series that might go 6 or 7. Now, Klimberg, for me, sorry, it is a step up on Josh Brown and on Cam Dineen.
Yeah, you just got a guy that has experience and has been there before, right?
Yeah.
So
he's not going to be overwhelmed.
No.
Do you know what I mean? He might be a little slower. He might not move as quick as he did in his Dallas days, but he's an upgrade. But Joaquin, like, You're either going with a veteran guy that got a ridiculous contract, not his fault. It's not. Over a young guy who's been a pro, mostly in the minors, but moves better, moves the puck well, but he's small. I mean, I at the time I was upset, but then I thought we were looking too much into it because I think if either guy plays, the four guys are still playing all over 23 minutes.
Probably.
Because Emerson only played 13.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't think it's sustainable either.
You're right. I don't know. Like you're looking way down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you
might be able to get out of a round doing it because it's not like the Kings. It's not like they're rolling 6 guys also.
Yeah. Jordan Spence didn't play a lot yesterday.
You know, so.
Bouchard played 28 minutes and man, what a roller coaster that guy was yesterday. Holy smokes.
He has to be better, man.
Yeah. And
you can't. Another thing, well, there's a few things, and I said it yesterday, the Oilers can't pass up opportunities to shoot the puck. That's ridiculous. And they cannot just keep giving the Kings opportunities, grade A opportunities. Yeah. All of the goals, I'll say all of the goals that the Edmonton Oilers scored yesterday was because of superhuman plays that they made.
Yes,
right.
Connor
Like they generated themselves. So you can't really fault the King. They just got beat by good plays to start a play. Right. Yeah. The Kings, on the other hand, got gifted
goals,
great chances that led to goals. You just can't have that.
Yeah,
make them earn everything. Make them earn everything.
And that's a great point because we talked about it yesterday too. Make them earn their goals. And like you said, Connor McDavid, go watch the last 3 goals. That was all Connor McDavid making brilliant plays.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
He had to beat guys one-on-one and make brilliant plays to do something. They weren't given to him.
No. That's just a great player taking over and saying, I'm getting our team back. And Joaquin, and the tying goal was electric, everything. If Skinner lets that goal in, he's being...
Oh, it's a terrible goal.
It's a terrible goal.
Yeah. It's like the Byfield goal. Like, great play by Byfield. Like, pucks up in the air, grabs it, gets it down, pauses, has a look, knows, you know what, I could probably bank this off him, and does it, right?
Yeah.
I don't like the goal, but great awareness from Byfield. McDavid, like, that was ridiculous. And it completely caught Kemper off guard that this guy's kind of at the boards at the top of the circles, and all of a sudden he has the ability to maybe cut across on me. Unreal play. Unreal. Yeah. But
we're going to continue to recap Game 1. We did get some news from Knobloch today. Sounds like John Klingberg is a very good possibility for tomorrow. That means Josh Brown more than likely is out. I listen, I'm not saying John Klingberg's the savior. I'm just saying he's an upgrade on Josh Brown and Cam Dineen. Take it with a grain of salt. Evander Kane is a possibility. Who comes out of the lineup? Joaquin and I think it's going to be Jeff Skinner. And then he also said he is not decided on his starting goaltender for Game 2. But our guy here says the goalies know, but he's keeping it tight-lipped until tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, he knows. Both goalies already know. And maybe this is just a little bit of gamesmanship. I never really understood it, why coaches said this and try to keep it under wraps. Most teams don't care. They just have to score. It's not a huge game plan of who plays. The Kings don't have to adjust their style of play if it's Calvin Pickard or Stuart Skinner. So, yeah.
All right. We're still going to get to Cass's comments from last night because I think he put the blame on one certain individual, and I agree with him. We're going to get to the officials. I think it's a weak excuse, but I think, listen, they're bad in every game. Okay, we're going to talk about the lack of offense in the first 40 minutes, but next we're going to highlight 3 goals against on the Oilers that just can't not happen. Again, this is not to pick on certain players. This is not to just keep harping on them, but they're bad plays. They're bad plays, and we got to break them down. That's coming up next here. Highlights, lowlights. Keep slamming that thumbs up. We got, how many do we have here? We have 203 watching. We have 41 thumbs up. We should be at 100 by the next segment, Joaquin.
Be at 203.
If you, that's a good point. If you're listening, it's iHeart, TuneIn Radio apps, EdmontonSports.com. Just jump on over, slam that thumbs up for us, and then you'll be on your way just listening to us. We're back. Highlights, lowlights here on EST Afternoons. Here's Coop with your sports update.
There's a handful of playoff games dotting the NHL slate. Devils, Hurricanes. Game 2 kicks off the night. Carolina taking the series opener. After that, Ottawa hits the ice in Toronto looking to tie the series at 1 apiece before the Battle of Florida shakes down. And the Golden Knights and Wild face off with Vegas up 1-0 in the series. Out east, the Islanders have announced that they are not renewing general manager Lou Lamoriello's contract, with the 82-year-old being a part of the New York franchise since 2018. In Seattle, the Kraken have promoted general manager Ron Francis to the president of hockey operations while naming Jason Botterill as the team's new general manager. On the court, the Grizzlies and Thunder tip off for Game 2. Memphis trailing 1-0 in the series before the Lakers and Timberwolves go at it. Minnesota taking Game 1, while the Bucks have a date with the Pacers as Milwaukee looks to tie the series at 1-1. There's 15 games in baseball. The Jays rematch the Astros after Toronto was smacked 7-0 last night. Chris Bassett takes the mound for the Jays. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc. They're the Astros. They're the experts you need to know. More with Joaquin, Gage, and Hernan Salas after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Craving a late night snack? Hit the Banquet for our new late night happy hour. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Try favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or our Banquet burger and fries, all at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Downsizing, upsizing, or staging your home to sell? Sentinel Storage is Edmonton's team for affordable storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Sentinel Storage, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Sentinel Storage is...
It's 1:25 Tuesday afternoon. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here from the William Huff Studios. Joaquin, Gage, Hernan Salas, Zach Kubish in the house. Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne coming up at 3. They'll take you right up until 6. And then we all get to go home early today. And then tomorrow it's another long day as Game 2 is upon us from LA. And yeah, I'm feeling confident about Game 2. I truly am. But let's get to highlights, lowlights here. And again, the first goal was Josh Brown played terribly. It was a power play goal. The second goal by the LA Kings, it's the Byfield behind the goal line.
Wasn't behind the goal line.
Well,
It's close.
Close. I know a lot of people wanted Skinner to have that one. That's a tough one because it came right at the end of the period. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Evan Bouchard, we haven't gotten to yet. So he finished with 3 assists. He was a +1, played 28-20. 4 giveaways. For the Oilers, Evan Bouchard's their best defenseman. Okay. Without Echo. He is.
No.
He plays 28 minutes.
Offensively, yes.
But, and again, like it's, but, okay, how about this? Mark Spector asked a great question last night.
He did.
Okay, do you want to hear it?
Sure.
Okay, here it is. Here's Mark Spector.
Do we have to hear Specs? Can we just hear the response? No, I'm kidding. Just kidding, Spec.
Okay, here's Spec's question to Knobloch, and we'll debate.
So you guys are going with pretty much 5 defensemen. Evan Bouchard's a really important guy for you. He was very good on the offensive side of the puck tonight. Are you going to need more out of him defensively if he's going to play 27 minutes a night?
That's I can't comment on that. I don't know the breakdowns. I saw Evan give us an excellent opportunity to win tonight. He made a lot of nice plays. Was his game perfect? I'm not sure anybody's game was perfect tonight. So, I think Evan's a very important part of our team. Obviously, if we're going to have success, especially when we're missing one of our key defensemen, all those, especially our top 4, really have to step up.
He says he can't answer it, then he answers it. Interesting response, Joaquin.
I think he heard it differently, though. He wanted to see the breakdown of each goal, right? Which he's probably looked at. But I can see why he answered that in the manner that he did.
Okay.
But everyone knows the answer to that question, which you want to hear from the coach. That's why it's a good question from Spec, because there are a lot of coaches around the league. If posed the same question, they would have said, yeah, we need way more from him. But Knobloch was calculated in what he said, protecting his player. You haven't seen him in the past come out and say anything about one individual specifically. So I think this is just a way to kind of protect the player of not having him. I mean, he's going to hear it from everywhere else. He has to be way better.
Yes. Well, he said he gave us a great chance to win the game, but he also cost you the game with 2 terrible turnovers.
Yeah,
that's 2 goals.
Yeah.
It's 2 goals, and everybody's going to look at Stuart Skinner. Sure, you want to save on one of those. I'll give you that. But Evan Bouchard is going to be playing 25-plus minutes a night without Ekholm. You got to get that out of your game. And I'm sorry, but the last goal, we're going to show it to, at no point does he want any contact with Warren Fogle. And in fairness, they're dead tired because they've been out for 4 minutes. Because Knobloch refuses to go with anyone else. Let's start with the third goal here, Coop. Listen, people are going to say Hernan, he was +1, he had 3 assists. Yeah, but the blunders that he caused cost the Oilers goals, and we have to show them. So, Gager, on the next one, the next clip that's coming up following, it's on the same video. You're going to see 3 guys behind the goal line, which is unacceptable. But right here, just a bad play up the boards. No chance for the forward to get it. Like, Kempe's all over that.
It's frustrating because there was no need to make that play, first of all. The backhand up the wall.
Yeah.
Like, he sees Nurse, and Kempe is right beside him. I don't know why that play is initiated, first of all. But then you get scrambly because you just gave the puck away.
Yeah.
And you gave it to one of the most dangerous players in the league, let alone Kempe.
Like, what is he trying to do there?
Gets a chance to just pound it there, right from the slot. Boom. Skinner makes a great save. And then what happens? He goes chasing instead of just staying in front, and just a horrible, horrible look. If he just goes to the front of the net, that Skinner probably stops that puck.
Yeah. Like he's got nobody right now.
He's going towards a guy that's already covered there. It's the shoulder checking, seeing this. Just take the puck.
Would you eat it there? That's probably the better play, right?
I hate to say it, but the testicular fortitude of Evan Bouchard, it just isn't there. Sometimes you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit sometimes.
Yeah.
And maybe the play is to take it into the corner, take the hit.
Yeah, hold it. Like,
take it right there.
You see him, but you see him check, Joaquin. Kempe's all over Nurse. What is he trying to get? Like, he's putting Nurse in a horrible position.
And the thing is who said you don't finish every check? Who said
Robin
that?
LA.
Okay, so you watch that at the beginning. Why does Bouchard get rid of that puck? Because he does not want to get hit. That's why he coughs that puck up. And that is why you finish every single check in the playoffs, because moments like that arise when you do.
Yeah. And again, he just goes to the front of the net. Instead, he chases Skinner and Nurse behind the net. They all end up on all fours back there because they're in panic mode. They do.
Well, and when you watch Ekholm, he has one of the things that is so great about his game is if he gives the puck up like that, there's no panic.
Yeah.
Like you're taught as kids, like go to the house and work yourself back out from there. So there's a giveaway. Where would Ekholm probably go? Straight to the front, because that's where the puck's going eventually anyways. So, and then you sort things out from there. You don't start chasing like that. Last year, Darnell Nurse would make a mistake, and you'd see him running around.
Yeah.
What is Darnell Nurse? Something like that happens, he gets back to the house and sorts it out. Evan Bouchard has to have a little bit more, have that his offensive mindset where it's so good on the defensive side as well. And that was basically caused by Evan Bouchard not wanting to get hit in the corner.
All right, let's look at the fourth goal. Listen, I know what he's trying to do. He's an offensive player. They're always trying to make a pass. He's looking for McDavid, but there's again, like he's going to get some pressure. Doesn't boom.
Again.
Like it's
there. Why?
Eat it.
But why do you think he did that?
Because he doesn't want to get hit.
Doesn't want to get hit. Does not want to get hit. So how am I going to do this? I'm just getting rid of this. I don't want to get hit here. And all he has to do is just put the puck into the corner. McDavid goes and gets it, and they're out of the zone. He's got almost 3 guys beat here. But I hate this is again. That's why you finish checks in the playoffs, because this is what arises. I'm tired of getting hit, and I'm just gonna. It's a terrible play because he's going to get hit.
But this has been Bouchard all year in the defensive zone. He doesn't want to take a hit. He wants no part of the physicality or contact. Like that's just a brutal play from a guy who played 28 minutes a night. And sure, he had 3 assists in the third period. I was going to say the 5th period. But these are the plays he has to get out of his game. If he has 10 assists, but he's costing you 3 goals, who cares? He needs to be better. With Ekholm out, he needs to get that out of his game. Can he do it, Gager, quickly? I don't think he can, because this has been him all year.
This is his. I think it's baked into the DNA here, man. It's an awful look.
What did you think of Skinner on that one?
Well, I mean, it's a cool play because Byfield kind of touches it.
Yeah.
To Deneau, right? And look, I like how Skinner, he gets out, he gets set, he's ready for that shot, just gets beat by a really good shot. But you want to save. That's why when you hear players talk about their goaltenders that are, at the tops of their game, who was it? I think it was Makar talking about, is it Blackwood?
Mm-hmm.
He was saying he's so calm back there. And this is Makar saying this. Makar saying it's so great to have a goaltender back there that you have confidence in that if you do make a mistake, that they're there to bail you out or back you up. That's what Cale Makar said about his goaltender. That's what you want all Edmonton Oilers players saying about either Stuart Skinner or Calvin Pickard moving forward is we have the faith in our guy to make up for him if we do make a mistake. Problem is, when the Oilers do make a mistake, it's ending up in the back of the net. I mean, those are 2 glorious chances. But come on, Evan, this is the NHL. You're going to get hit. Mm-hmm. Time to take a hit to make a play.
And you're playing obviously most of the time against the top 2 lines of the other team. They've watched you all season. They know you're struggling defensively. They know you don't want to take a hit. But man, and you said it yesterday. The Kings are going to attack them. Every chance they can.
Why wouldn't you? Like you don't think those highlights are being shown on repeat in the Kings dressing room right like now or on all their phones? Look at this. Every time this guy touches the puck, go hit him.
Yeah.
Hit him and get into a support area because you'll probably work a little give and go with him.
And he plays a lot. So we're going to have some chances.
Wear him down.
Yeah. Let's look at the last goal. And listen, this is not all. I'm not saying this is Bouchard's fault. I'm just saying the Oilers retired. We're going to get into it because Cass brought up a great point. Let's run the 6th goal. Gage, as a goalie, I want you to kind of take a look at this as well. McDavid here just tries to make a play. Good job there. Who's the stick there? Great job to knock that down. And then here it's just tired legs. But just, again, I have such an issue with Bouchard. Just look. Not at one point does he even go near Fogle. And listen, I don't like the goal. And you can say he was screened and all that, but Gage, I guess from Skinner's point of view, what are you seeing here? Is it a bad goal?
Cass really broke it down. Again, this is one of those points where I'd like to see a save. Like I like Skinner's position, but right here, like try to find that puck.
Yeah.
Just try to look. You got to find it somehow. Somehow.
Yeah. Fight through it.
And it's hard. It's hard. Look, Fogle does a great job, but somehow you have to do something to find this puck. Like you can see it. You see it go back, and he's kind of in good position, but...
Or if Bouchard stops in there and maybe cross-checks Fogle, just get him out of the way. Like
Bouchard, the playoffs is all about sacrifice. Maybe block a shot. You just realized, oh my gosh, this guy's he's winding up for a one-timer. Maybe sacrifice a little bit. Look at him. He's not getting in the way. Whoa, nope. Let's and even then, even if Stuart Skinner somehow stops that puck, Warren Fogle is all alone in front to tap that thing in.
Exactly. Because Bouchard, instead of getting closer to Fogle, he goes away from Fogle. Like, watch him. And now it's quick. Things happen quick. So sure, we'll give a bit of the benefit of the doubt there, but and it's bizarre, Gager, that we're talking about Stuart Skinner and Evan Bouchard because they've been the two top topics here in Edmonton.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you can go back to McDavid trying to just sauce that in gently to the net. Just put it in the corner, man. Put it hard and like everything. And I mean, he's exhausted. He's just trying to find something. He's trying to just put this towards the net, see what happens, right? But you got two guys beat on the other side of the puck. Get it into the corner and go from there.
All right. That's been highlights, lowlights. It wasn't pretty, but you need more from Evan Bouchard. You do. Defensively, he's been a wreck. I appreciate Speck's question. I do. That's a tough question to ask because you might get a snarky response. You might not get anything. We kind of got something from Knobloch. Knobloch's not a guy who generally throws his players under the bus. So he did exactly the opposite. Like he did that. He was very, what's the word I'm looking for? He was just very, he wasn't going to say Bouchard was bad. He just he
protects his players. And I respect him for that.
Yeah.
I don't think Bouchard's the type of player that you're like and Tommy said it too yesterday and heard guys say it. Like he hit every button perfectly last year, Knobloch. There's been some misses this year, I think. One thing I think he has a good temperature of his team, and with certain players, maybe calling them out in the media isn't the right thing to do.
Not at this point.
You're not going to get the best out of this player. And I think that's where he was going.
All right. Portion of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brewhouse. Make your birthday legendary at the CBH. Epic food, killer drinks, and a vibe you can't beat. Plus, get free nachos with our app.
Nachos?
Book your party now, the Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house. We'll continue to break down game one. We got a lot to get to. Cass. His comments last night on who he looked at to blame for this loss. We'll talk some officials, talk about the lack of offense in the first two periods, and anything you guys want to talk about. Hit us up on the River Korean box, 780-218-9999, or hit us up on the Nasty Chat. 53 thumbs up. Let's keep hammering that. We got 201 watching. We should get to 150, no problem today. So if you haven't done so, please do. And also hit the subscribe button. And if you're want to listen to the show later, and any show here at EST, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast, just go to Edmonton Sports Talk, find the show, and just hit the follow button. That would be greatly appreciated. We're back after the break. Here's Coop, Sports Update time.
2 between the Senators and Leafs is tonight. Toronto taking the opening contest 6-2. 3 other games are on tap. Tampa Bay hosts Florida in Game 1 before Minnesota looks to tie their series at 1 apiece against Vegas. After that, New Jersey visits Carolina. The Devils trailing 1-0 in the series. Meanwhile, Lou Lamoriello's time is up as New York's general manager, as the Islanders have announced that they are not renewing his contract. Lamoriello has been a part of the team since 2018 and won 2 General Manager of the Year awards. From Seattle, Assistant General Manager Jason Botterill has been promoted to General Manager, with Ron Francis shifting from his managing role to become the team's president of hockey operations. On the court, there's 3 games, including the Lakers and Timberwolves tipping off in Game 2. LA leading 1-0 in the series, or Minnesota leading 1-0 in the series, while the Grizzlies Thunder Game 2 goes down. OKC winning the opening match. And after losing 7-0 to Houston yesterday, the Jays and Astros rematch on a 15-game MLB slate. Chris Bassett gets the ball for Toronto. This sports update is brought to you by Gimme Virtual Golf. Whether you're up for a casual round or a serious game, Gimme Virtual Golf has membership and flex passes to fit your style. Visit Gimme Virtual Golf today and discover just how fun indoor golf can be. More with Hernan, Salas, and Joaquin Gage after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
Why does every Oilers coach always revert back to putting McDavid and Draisaitl together?
Probably considered stupid.
Yes.
If you didn't revert to them, if you're down in the game. Well, I mean, they read off each other like it's unbelievable, some of the passes that they've made to each other.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The River Cree Resort and Casino presents Bump and Grind Rewind, May 16th, featuring Drew Hill. With Cisco and Genuine, plus DJ Hartman B. Bump and Grind Rewind. Friday, May 16th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
It's 1:45. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Keep the messages coming to the night. Hey, let's get those thumbs up. Come on. It's 1:45. We're still stuck under 60. We need to get to 150. Slam that thumbs up. Like our buddy Reed says, don't be a pleasure delayer. All right? Let's do it. Let's go. Krager says, if Bouchard doesn't skate out of the way of the shot and away from the front of the net, the play outcome is likely different. Bouch could have tied up his man, cleared the front of the net, allowing Skinner to see or maybe blocked the shot. Bouchard is an absolute liability defensively. Bronco Nick says, why don't they practice taking a hit? Well, I think they practice being under pressure. Like, I think hitting in your own team, they don't do it due to injuries and all that stuff, but I mean, Bouchard's been around long enough. Like, last year, the guy was an absolute beast. What's changed? What has changed? Let's see here. Big Uke says, poor play choice by McDavid, poor back check by Dry, poor positioning by Bouch. Oh, and Vogel makes a great play. So far from Skinner's fault there.
This is what we were talking about earlier, just about making them earn it.
Yeah.
And look, I know we said you look at the back check by Draisaitl, the play by McDavid, they're gassed. What happens when you're gassed? You make poor decisions, right? But there was still ample opportunity to, after even those two mistakes, to make up for that play, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of errors that led to a goal that was gifted to the Los Angeles Kings.
Yeah. River Korean Box 780-218-9999. Now, Cass yesterday pointed at Knobloch for the first time, I think, since Knobloch's taken over. He didn't like that he didn't play for OT. He put a tired group out there again. Joaquin, this is pretty much the shifts for Leon Draisaitl, Zach Hyman, Leon Draisaitl, Evan Bouchard, okay? They were out there at 16:22 till 17:56. They went off. They came back at 18:14, okay? And then they came off at 18:32. They went back out there at 18:48 and finished the game. Cass's point was, I'm glad he brought it up because he makes such a good point. Play for overtime, man. You don't think you go into overtime, Joaquin? Who's got the upper hand? It's the Oilers. You don't think that LA team's rattled? Thinking, holy crap, here we go again? Oilers win that game in overtime. I'm telling you right now, the series is over.
I don't know about that. But,
yes. You blow a 4-0, 4-1, 5-2 lead.
You move on. You move on. Doesn't matter if you win 9-8 or 1-0.
But do you agree that Knobloch should have went with a 5 completely fresh group? Try to get the goal. Why not? I mean, Janmark scored in the game.
Because they won the draw right before, and Bouchard had a chance to win it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But right then, after that play, you change. Or, I said this on Two Guys, take Bouchard off. You're down with it. You need to win the game here, and you can't. He's had a horrific game defensively. Last minute, you throw Nurse out there, right? You throw Nurse and Kulak out there. So at least if something happens, a weird play off the draw, you've got two guys that are much better defenders at that point. You can't have Bouchard out in the last minute of the game in a tie game or up a goal. Down one, maybe. You make the case for it, but not at that point. You can't trust him anymore. Can't trust him in that.
You can't. And he said he almost won us the game, but he's part of why he lost the game, and a huge part. And he went for the kill. Sure. But like Joaquin, you go into that room, the Oilers just came flying back. LA's rattled. And I said it last night on the postgame show. I'm certain the Oilers come out and score in the first 5 minutes in overtime because they were flying. They go in feeling good. Boys, we can play. And McDavid willed the team to a comeback. It was all McDavid.
Well, yeah. I mean, do they win? I don't know. But we'll never know because you didn't give it. Yeah. And it was funny when Cass was going into that. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that completely makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just such. You want those guys were probably going to be the guys that were going to win it for you anyways. But give him the best chance.
Yeah.
Give him the best chance. Fresh ice, whatever. Get them rested. They've been playing for what? The last 3.5 minutes anyway. If something happens, they have to get back. Little greedy by Nobla in that case. Or, again, you take 2 off.
And again, I say, if they win that game, I think it's a little bit different. Kitty says, well, the Oilers blew a lead against Vancouver in game 1. I think it's different because LA... This is the 4th time they're meeting, and they can't get over that hump that is the Edmonton Oilers. That's why I think it's a little... Okay, maybe I went full Dusty there and I said the series was over, but I think that's... If the Oilers find a win game 1 in that fashion, I think that really affects LA.
Well, didn't they... I think the Kings lost the last few at home too, right? There was... Although they were great all season.
Yeah.
They only had 3 home losses up to the end of February or something like that. And I think they finished with either 6 or 7 losses at home, but they'd all come quite recently. So now, just the seed of doubt. You had the opportunity to put that in. Grab the first game in LA. Now so much pressure is on the Kings to hold because you don't want to be going back to Edmonton down 2-0. So,
and the Oilers always lose game one outside of last year.
Yeah, whatever. That's an excuse.
No, but they do.
Yeah, but in horrific fashions.
Yeah, I was at game 1 2 years ago and they lost in overtime. Oh, that was crushing. That was crushing. Officials, Joaquin. I saw a lot of people on Twitter yesterday blaming the officials. I think that's such a weak excuse. The officials are bad in every series. I've watched almost every game so far in the playoffs, Joaquin. They're terrible. Okay?
No one knows what a penalty is.
Yeah, and they're terrible for every team. Listen, the Oilers, couple soft calls, 100%. They also missed a few calls on the Oilers.
Oh yeah, Perry should have had a few more.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you saw the cross check on Hartman by, I think it was Pietrangelo. Was it? Anyway, just a full cross check to the face and nothing. And then Deneau gets a cross check in the upper chest, throws his head back. I mean,
but you're giving them you're giving the ref a chance to make that call.
You are.
Yeah. And Deneau's greasy.
Oh, yeah. 2 goals greasy.
Yeah, like you put a stick around his head, he's gonna act. He's gonna throw himself on the ice.
You just don't give him the opportunity.
So I'm sorry, the Oilers didn't lose because of the refs, man. Like that is such a weak excuse. Sorry, the refs are bad for both teams. There are some soft calls, sure. What did you make of the puck over the glass call?
I thought it hit the glass.
Okay,
I could hear it. I rewound it, and I was like, I hear it hit the glass. Maybe it was a stick or whatever.
Because the linesman said it did.
But is it just me? Or could you see the puck definitely change its like rotation as it hit the top of the glass?
It was tough, man. Like I know they showed some good angles, but Louis and Jack made the case for them, man. It was I don't know, man. They didn't score on that. Did they score on that five? No,
I don't think they scored.
No.
So it actually gave the Oilers a little bit of juice.
A little bit of juice, but again, like that's a call made. It was hard to overturn.
Yeah, but I think the linesman called it right away, then the ref called it.
The ref called the penalty.
Yeah, but the linesman was like this before, and then the ref put his arm up.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know. They just seemed like they had a quota to call some penalties or something. It was just whatever.
Tony says, with how the game ended last night, do you guys think it gives the Kings more belief now? Also, do you think the last goal gives Skinner's confidence a bit of a shake, Joaquin?
No, I look, that whole game, Kings were better defensively. Connor McDavid had to do, like I said, superhuman things to generate scoring chances. So you want to take some good things from the game, right? So what do the Kings take out of that game? They were able to shut down the Oilers completely for 40 minutes. It took the best player in the world to go crazy for 20 to get them back into the game. They shut down everything else, and they found a way to do it at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So those are probably the 3 things that the Kings take out of that game. And the Oilers, look, we didn't play well. We didn't play until the third period. And then we had the team on the ropes. We were able to find cracks in the armor of Darcy Kemper, who was supposed to be one of the main reasons why the Kings move on to to round 2. So there's a couple things that they're able to take from it. But for the most part, for a lot of everything, who can put this game behind them the quickest?
Yeah.
And move on to game 2, right? It doesn't matter anymore. The only thing that matters in this whole thing is the Kings are up 1-0 against the Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton Oilers are looking to tie this series and go back to Edmonton. That's the mindset. That's what you're going to hear in every single interview. And I know it's cliche and not great, but that's what it basically boils down to. Stuart Skinner's got to move on. Darcy Kemper's got to move on. And Evan Bouchard has to find some way that he is not gifting goals to the opposing team.
Do you think? I think now for the Kings, it's almost like, hey guys, we dodged one. I think that almost makes them better going forward, right? Because in the third period, Joaquin, McDavid went, I mean, supernova, right? Like he was amazing. But do you think the Kings let off a bit? Combination of both.
Oh, how do you not?
Yeah, it's human nature, right?
Yeah, and they did. Yeah, they went into a bit of a shell, of course, and it slipped away from them. But I thought they did a really good job up to the last minute of the second period to play the same way. So yeah, they're saying, look, we were lucky. We didn't play a full 60, but still managed to win. Now who can play the full 60? Who can play that solid all-around game for 60 minutes? That's who's going to win this series. Who can put together the consistent level of play needed to win? Because both teams, there were a lot of mistakes.
The Kings are going to look at the first 40 minutes, especially the second frame, and say, we do that, we win.
Yeah.
The Oilers, I think, overall can't be too happy because it was McDavid.
No, they need way more.
Listen, I like Jake Wallman's physicality, Gager, but I think Jake Wallman was like the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah.
He was a little too amped.
Yeah, he was amped, right? Well, Dusty said that's only his second NHL playoff game, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's good, though. Easier to get that out of your system than try to get someone with no pulse to get up for the first game, right?
Yeah. Oh, a lot of people not happy with the puck over the glass. Bronco Nick says the puck changed rotation and speed.
Yeah, I know.
Big Uke says horse bleep. How do they not have any other cameras on the glass? I think someone else pointed out that there was the puck mark on.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Yeah.
See that.
So interesting. It did. I mean, that penalty, the Oilers good on them. They were able to kill it. But yeah, that was an interesting call. But I didn't mind Jake Wallman, but he's got to bring it down a few notches. He was just a little too Ottawa Senators for my liking.
That's fine.
And that's fine. Like Gager said, it's better to have a guy that you can kind of bring down a few notches
than try to find guys to get amped up for the first. Come on.
Yeah, and the Oilers offensively got to do a better job. And you got to give credit to the Kings, too, but they got to crash the net a lot more. Gager said it as one of the keys yesterday. Shoot the damn puck, and the Oilers refused to shoot it. Paul Colson, Arvidsson, McDavid. So many guys refused to shoot yesterday.
Shoot the puck, guys, and get someone going to the net. Kings do it.
Oh.
They're going straight to the net, Need more shooters.
All right, hour two's coming up. We'll continue Oilers talk. Of course, we'll look around the NHL at other series. It was a great day yesterday in the NHL. 2 OT games. You had the classic comeback that fell short for the Oilers. And then you had Winnipeg Jets. And hopefully we have some Winnipeggers join us because I owe them an apology. That team's a wagon. I think they're going to sweep the Blues. They're that good. And they're missing 2 top 6 forwards, Joaquin. So, and we'll look ahead to the games today. Hopefully Ottawa can bounce back after a really bad game one where they just seemed very inexperienced. And what'd you say yesterday? Overzealous?
Overzealous.
Yes. So we'll see if they can bounce back. And Lee Hacksaw Hamilton, we'll talk some NFL draft that goes on Thursday and some NHL playoffs as well. That's all coming up in hour 2 here on EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talks. Joaquin Gage, it's Hernan Salas. We're back after the break.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Enjoy great drinks, amazing vibes, and unforgettable memories. Download the Banquet app and get a free pizza pie on your birthday. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Round 1 playoff action continues in the NHL. Toronto is up 1-0 in their series against Ottawa. The Sens and Leafs rematch tonight. Panthers and Lightning kick off their series in Game 1, while the Devils and Hurricanes go toe-to-toe. Carolina holding New Jersey 1-0 in the series before the Wild look to tie their series with the Knights at 1 apiece. Elsewhere, the Islanders are parting ways with 82-year-old general manager Lou Lamoriello, with the team announcing that they will not be renewing his contract. Lamoriello has been with the franchise since 2018, winning 2 General Manager of the Year awards. The Kraken have also made some changes. They've promoted General Manager Ron Francis to become the team's president of hockey operations, with assistant general manager Jason Botterill taking his role. Basketball has 3 games, including the Lakers and Timberwolves showing down in Game 2. The Timberwolves taking Game 1. Meanwhile, Minnesota star Anthony Edwards has been fined $50,000 for, quote, directing inappropriate language and making an obscene gesture to the LA crowd on Saturday. The MLB sees 15 matchups. Toronto rematches Houston after the Jays fell 7-0 to the Astros yesterday. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoon starts right now.
Hour 2 here on EST Afternoons. Welcome back. Day after the Oilers lose 6-5 in Game 1 to the LA Kings. Coop's getting a lot of love for his reads.
Oh my gosh.
Lots of love. He's got his own fan club. Yeah. What's going on here?
I didn't know your dad's name's Bubba.
Hey, 192 watching. 81 thumbs up. Come on. Let's go. 70 more. Let's do it for an Oilers bounce back. I think they're going to bounce back tomorrow. They're going to win. And I'm also going to say something else.
Yeah?
They're going to win by more than 3 goals.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Am I off my rocker? Who's with me?
Yeah.
Nobody? Anyone? Who thinks the Oilers are going to win? Oh, boy. Hey, hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Slam that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. River Cree inbox 780-218-9999. Lee Hacksaw Hamilton will join us at 2:20. We'll continue to talk Oilers and all NHL playoffs, as well as we got 4 games on tap tonight. New Jersey at Carolina. Carolina leads that series 1-0. Finally, Florida-Tampa kick off their series. That's going to be a good one. The Sens look to bounce back after an awful Game 1. That game goes at 5:30. Florida, Tampa Bay's at 6:30. And the late game, 9 o'clock.
Nice.
9 o'clock. Minnesota Wild, Vegas Golden Knights. You want to stay up that late? Tune into that one. I hate watching the Golden Knights. They just make me angry. Yeah, they're a good team.
Oh, they're really good.
They just make
They're fun to watch.
Angry.
That Eichel he's magic.
He's playing good, man. He's a hell of a player.
Yeah.
That whole team is just a wagon. Good for Montreal. Fought back. But the grade 8, Had no time for their nonsense. Wins it in overtime.
Isn't that weird? That's his first overtime winning goal.
It's crazy, man.
He's got to pick it up a little.
What was I going to say? Colin Blackwell wins it for the Dallas Stars.
Yeah.
They tie up that series, which is good. And then, Winnipeg's just a good team, man.
Connor with 2 game-winning goals. That guy can score, man. Watching that, I was like, gosh, they kept him out in the Four Nations. Never understood why.
Yeah.
It's not like he's, I don't know, maybe I have to watch Kyle Connor a little bit more. He seems to play a ton. And maybe he was injured. Must have been.
He's elite, man. That guy's elite. And Scheifele's playing out of this world.
Yeah.
They got the best goaltender in the playoffs right now.
Scheifele's on the Olympic team, hey?
I'm shocked he wasn't this time.
I know.
Like, to be honest with you, if he's snubbed for the Olympics, I'll be floored.
Yeah.
I would be floored. You have any faith in Ottawa tonight?
I do. I think they've got this. I think they're going to win this one, and I do think that probably Toronto wins this series, but I think Ottawa bounces back. Allmark's got to have a game here. It's just gone too many games not having a good game.
He's been bad in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think they showed his playoff starts in the last broadcast, and I was
awful.
like, ooh, that's no bueno. It's no bueno at all. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And then tomorrow, of course, the Oilers return. Only 3 games: Montreal game 2 against Washington, Dallas, Colorado game 3. Winnipeg is going to St. Louis, so they won't play until Thursday. Maybe we'll request Sarah Orlesky to get a vibe from Winnipeg there, because it seems things are going really, really well. Now, if the Oilers, and listen, I'm not trying to be a funny guy or anything. I do think they bounce back tomorrow, Joaquin. You don't?
Well, if you're I don't know who's going to win. I really don't. I don't think, because I'm sorry. They'll be better. I think they'll be better throughout the whole lineup, right?
Yeah.
But you can't just rely on Connor and Leon to do everything.
But he did. And
you're going to need
someone else.
And not always like...
because Joaquin, I think Tommy made it. He goes, listen, whichever coach is here, he even said Scotty Bowman. Anyway,
yeah,
they're all going to go nuclear.
Yeah,
because they're far too good together. And look what happened yesterday.
Well, nothing was good. It made sense.
Yeah,
it really made sense. I mean, Nobla probably kept them apart for the longest time ever. Yesterday, trying to get everyone going, and then realizing it's just not working. We have to. We need to find something. And how do you do that? And sometimes it ignites other people, but I just don't get. Game 1, it's in the rearview mirror here, but you're going to need more.
Yeah,
way more.
And I'm okay with going to it in the playoffs, but don't start with it, because then you make it far too easy for the other. Not that it's easy defending the nuclear option, because it's incredibly hard, but then you don't get a lot from the other lines, and you didn't yesterday.
No,
let's be honest. And there's a reason why maybe he went the last 4 minutes with the same 4 guys for the most part, because I think Nugent Perry switched out at one point or something like that. But you're gonna run these guys to the ground again. You need Arvidsson, you need Skinner, listen, Trent Frederick. I'm gonna give him a pass because he looked like a guy who hadn't played hockey in 2 months. He did.
I'm worried about his health. I don't think.
You don't think he's 100%?
No, he was turning a few times. Looked like a 747.
He did. I thought Nuge, Skinner, Frederick Lang was gonna be really good. They struggled.
Yeah,
they did.
Nuge struggled.
Yeah, Nuge was, again, kind of MIA. Lost the key face-off. Fiala was good.
Safely leading the playoffs in points with 5. McDavid, I mean, there's 4 other guys with 4, but McDavid's only played 1 game.
Man, he went, what a player. Nuts. I was talking to you too, Trev. He goes, if they would have won that game, that's the greatest game I've ever seen in his life, he was saying.
Yeah.
Right, because he's young and he grew up in the decade of darkness, which is tough. I get it. But yeah, that would have been Gage, we probably would have been on air till 2 a.m.
I know.
That would have been amazing.
As soon as McDavid scored, I was like, oh, Hernan and Tommy.
I appreciate that. I felt the same way. I was like, I'm going to be here really late, man. And then Dano broke all Oilers fans' heart.
Yeah.
Because the GF was at Nelly, and she says when they walked out, all they heard was a big scream, and it was McDavid tying it. So everybody stayed there to watch the game.
Oh, cool.
And then 2 minutes later, Dano scoring the winner, and they're like, oh. Was the Moss Pit open? They didn't even show it on the broadcast, did they?
It was in the background when they were talking.
I didn't even notice.
It was
How'd it look?
Looked good. They had the conga lines going, and I mean, it was 4-0, and they were still conga lining. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Nobody acting stupid, I hope.
Oh, they were probably. There was a fight at the Nelly concert I saw.
Was there?
Yeah. Two women wearing Oilers jerseys.
Jeez.
One home, one away.
Maybe they're upset about Stuart Skinner or Evan Boucher. My inbox is down now, so I apologize for that. But keep sending them in. We'll eventually get them all in here. But it's not refreshing. So I don't know what to tell you.
Just log out and log back in.
That's what I've been doing, and it is not working. 91 thumbs up. Let's go. We're 59 away from our goal. We should get there.
Why? What gives you the optimism that they're going to roll tomorrow?
Because I think when the Oilers play poorly, they always bounce back. And I think they're going to build off what McDavid did in that third. I think Skinner's going to look for a bounce back. I think Bouchard is going to be like, I can't be this bad defensively. I think a lot of players in the forward group, Gage, are going to be like, I need to bring more. I need to be around it. I need to finish my checks. I just think this team, I shouldn't say knows when to turn it on, but I think when their back is against the wall, they always find a way. And
what was it this year when they were rolling their Skinner's response after a loss? Like he was quite good too for a while there.
Yeah, he didn't lose back-to-back games for like two and a half months there.
So
yeah, I don't think this series is going to be a quick one. I think it's going to be a battle. I think it's going to go back and forth. I can see both teams splitting at home. And then the final three being an absolute, anxiety-driven games, man, where everybody's going to be on the edge of their seat because LA's got some belief now. I mean, I still think they're like, how the hell did we blow that? You know what I mean?
There could be, but I think there's just relief
that they won.
Yeah. I don't think they're worried about it because they dominated.
Yeah, that second period by the Kings was just top notch.
Yeah, like was it Reed on the post-game show saying after that second period, I didn't know if the Edmonton Oilers would score in this game, but not score in the rest of the series. I think is what he said.
Gager, it took him until 9 minutes of the second period, 9 minutes left to get a shot on net.
But the one weird stat, they were leading in shot attempts against the Kings. They
didn't feel that way.
Didn't feel that way at all.
No.
Maybe they were counting icings. I don't know what, but it just didn't seem like they were directing anything at the net. Like I was in my office yelling, shoot.
Oh man. Ontario Moms, the D is shaking. You need more of 97 plus 29. 11 and 7 might be the recipe to screw the Kings. That's not a bad point, actually. But you do want I want Evander Kane in there. Ken says, I'll take 3 goals for 20. Okay, now they're not loading again. Sorry, guys. I'll try to get to as many as I can here. What game are you watching tonight?
Oh, Leafs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Florida-Tampa.
And Florida-Tampa. Yeah, that'll be fun. Those are always super fun to watch. The physicality of the Toronto, the way it ended too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of bad blood, which will be good. I mean, the Florida, is Tkachuk going to play tonight? They say he's good to go, but Bettman with his...
Sounds like he's playing, so...
Sounds like, yeah.
Mike from Calgary. They need to transplant some of that Wallman into Bouchard. Oh. Let's see here. It says, Peter and NYC. It's hilarious. Bowman said a few weeks ago that it's just Bouch's laid-back demeanor that makes it look like he's not trying. Nope. I'm pretty sure he had zero actual intensity.
It's a laid back, but that gives him the ability on the offensive side, you know? But as we pointed out, he has his lack of physicality is really affecting him right now.
And not wanting to
not only not wanting to engage, but not allowing that physicality to come to him to make the play. Like how many times you see Leon and Connor, you know, have the puck and engage physically with players. That's not the case with Bouchard. Maybe a reverse shoulder once in a while, you know?
Surprise someone.
Like, have you ever seen him? I'm scouring the memory banks, trying to remember him really like give a good pop to someone. I don't mean blow up yard sale, but just a really good hit.
No. Not in recent memory, I guess. Maybe I'm trying to remember last year's playoffs when he was an absolute stud, and no. We'll finish with this one. Hersey says, the thing that kind of scares me is that I expected McDavid and Dry to go off in the series, but not game one. Already used a bullet in the clip. The Kings had the recipe and can learn from it. Just feels like the Oilers just need a full team effort, which we haven't seen in a while because 97 and 29 can't go nuke every time they're down. It's the same tune. And I agree. You make it's not, easy is the wrong word, but LA is just going to focus on one line, and the other lines, they know they're going to have trouble scoring. They know if they play their game, their systems, the shots on net, the crashing the net, it's going to be difficult to come by. So I hope Knobloch keeps them separate. And if need be, Joaquin, go to it, because obviously it worked yesterday to bring them back.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they're going to start the game that way, man. Kings have no answer for it, right?
Okay.
Why not try to get the lead? And then go from there.
Yeah, that's a good point. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Go check out Elton Ron, tribute to Elton John, on May 3rd. And then Los Lobos, you can hear La Bamba on May 15th. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com or at the River Cree box office. Coming up next, we're going to switch gears just for a bit. We're going to talk with Lee Hacksaw Hamilton from LeeHacksawHamilton.com. We'll talk some NFL draft and some NHL playoff. That's all coming up here on EST Afternoons. Here's your sports update with Zach Kubish.
There's a handful of playoff games dotting the NHL slate. Devils Hurricanes Game 2 kicks off tonight. Carolina taking the series opener. After that, Ottawa hits the ice in Toronto, looking to tie the series at one apiece before the Battle of Florida shakes down, and the Golden Knights and Wild face off with Vegas up 1-0 in the series. Out east, the Islanders have announced that they are not renewing general manager Lou Lamoriello's contract, with the 82-year-old being a part of the franchise since 2018. In Seattle, the Kraken have promoted general manager Ron Francis to the team's president of hockey operations, while naming Jason Botterill as the new general manager. On the court, the Grizzlies and Thunder tip off for Game 2. Memphis trailing 1-0 in the series before the Lakers and Timberwolves go at it. Minnesota taking Game 1. Well, the Bucks have a date with the Pacers as Milwaukee looks to tie the series at 1-1. And Damian Lillard is expected to return for the Bucks to play for the first time in over a month. And there's 15 games in baseball. The Jays rematch the Astros after Toronto was smacked 7-0 last night. Chris Bassett takes the mound for the Jays. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, and whether it's a one-time donation or monthly contribution, every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. Lee Hacksaw Hamilton joins Joaquin, Gage, and Hernan Salas once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The River Cree Resort and Casino presents Bump and Grind Rewind, May 16th, featuring Drew Hill. With Cisco and Genuine, plus DJ Hartman B. Bump and Grind Rewind. Friday, May 16th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
And there they go to Sentinel Storage. The snowblower and winter gear goes in. They shoot, we store.
Need extra space? Store your winter gear with Sentinel Storage and win extra space at home. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
It's 2:23, sunny Tuesday afternoon here in Edmonton. It's EST Afternoons. Joaquin, Gage, Hernan, Salas, Zach Kubish with you here on Edmonton Sports Talks, coming to you live from the William Huff Studios. We're going to switch gears just a bit here as we're joined by our friend of the show, everybody's favorite, Lee Hacksaw Hamilton. Talk some NFL draft, and we will touch on the NHL playoffs as well. Lee, my friend, how are you doing on this Tuesday?
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to you guys up in the Great White North. Yeah, we're really busy down here because we're not only following, obviously, the Kings and the Oilers, but it's NFL draft week, and we got the NBA playoffs starting and got Major League Baseball in high gear. And by the way, there's a lot of puck to talk about. So not enough hours in the day to have a one-man gang cover it all. But how you doing?
We're doing great. We spent the last hour and 20 minutes breaking down the Oilers' loss. We're going to get to that in a bit with you, Lee. As you can imagine, fans are pretty upset after a 6-5 loss. But let's kick it off with the NFL draft that starts on Thursday. It's a very different draft. Why is that, Lee?
You know, Hernan, here's the unique aspect. The draft was put in place in 1967, and you draft based on your one-loss record, etc. They don't use a lottery, etc. It's triggered by what you did the prior season. This is the first time since 1967, guys, everybody retains their own number one pick. We've never had a draft where everybody has their own selection because these general managers wheel and deal when they trade future picks. Now, maybe we're going to have some transactions on Thursday in the first round, but we've never had a draft like this. The other factor, the draft has historically been about quarterbacks. It's a quarterback-driven league, as you guys know. Well, at this point, it looks like there's one established quarterback on the draft board. I went through the top 5 mock drafts that different people put out who have credibility, and I did an average of the 32 picks in the first round. 18 were on the defensive side of the football, and 6 were also offensive linemen. That's 24 of the potential 32 first-round picks, guys, are non-skilled players. So this is going to be a very, very different draft. It's a deep draft in terms of defense. It's a phenomenal draft in terms of offensive line. There's one quarterback. There might be 1 or 2 running backs at most. It's just a very different draft, and everybody owns their number one pick, which, as I said, we've never seen before. So it has a real different feel to it.
Lee, you mentioned it's obviously a quarterback-driven league. What do you see in the first round? Are there certain quarterbacks that could go higher, or what constitutes them possibly losing a few spots?
You know, it's interesting, Joaquin. If we'd done this interview back at the end of the college football season, say in December, I think the general consensus would be the number one quarterback would either be the kid out of Miami, Cam Ward, or the Colorado Buffalo, Shedeur Sanders. Well, now here we are 3 months later, and all these guys have gone through the Indianapolis Combine, their pro days, their private meetings with each of the teams on the 30 visits that every club gets to make with the guys who are interested in drafting. And there's been such a separation and such a shakeup of the quarterback rankings on this draft board. It's really, really different. Cam Ward of Miami has worked out for everybody, has gone to all the meetings. Though he did not participate at the Combine, he was there for the sessions. And he's just wowed everybody to the point that Tennessee looks as if you believe everybody who's close to the Titans and what they're reporting, Titans are going to take him with the number one pick. So that he has really locked himself in based on productivity. I think he threw 162 touchdowns in 5 years in college football. He's a gunslinger, but he's big and he's mobile and he's got a cannon for an arm. So he's separated himself. Shedeur Sanders has dropped like a cement block thrown into the lake. And it's just not football related. This is personality related. The fact that he blew off a ton of people at the Combine, didn't work out at his own pro day. And some of the meetings he had were really turnoffs to the organizations. You know, Joaquin, they bring in your GM and the coach and the offensive coordinator, and they'll sit in these meetings with this prospective quarterback, and they'll put stuff up on the whiteboard and show me what you think and what you see, et cetera, et cetera. And Shedeur came into these meetings and was kind of standoffish in some of them. He came into the meetings like he was entitled. And that's not what these guys want to hear. And then I've had scouts say that he doesn't check off all the boxes to, quote, be elite. If you're going to be the number 2 pick in the draft right behind Cam Ward, you better check off a lot of these boxes. So there's just a bunch of glitches. And I've seen mock drafts by important people that I believe in that have dropped him from 2 down to 9. I've seen his name drop to 21. It's stunning how far down. Now, as he's dropped, some other guys have really rocketed up the board. Jackson Dart of Ole Miss, who was a 3-year starter, has just wowed people with his grit and his toughness and his intelligence. Tyler Shuck at Louisville is kind of a one-man gang on not a very good football team. He's just dazzled everybody with what he has done. So there's probably 3 guys that have kind of climbed into the back end of the first round. And then there's a wild card out there. His name is Jalen Milroe from Alabama. Played really well under Nick Saban as a sophomore. Had a good start to his junior season and faded the second half of last season at Alabama and just played really, really struggled really poorly. Well, he's kind of rebuilt his credentials with his private workouts and his meetings. He's going to probably go at the early in the second round, and that might be the best gem of all these potential quarterbacks. I've had NFL people tell me, use his name in the same sentence with traits like Lamar Jackson. Wow. That's pretty doggone impressive. Now, that's not going to be his first day in an NFL camp that he's going to be like Lamar Jackson. So that's the storyline. This thing has all kind of flipped. Cam Ward is the guy. Shedeur is dropping. And then we're going to just see who's going to place value as to the 3rd quarterback, 4th quarterback, 5th quarterback in the draft. That might be at the back end of the first or might be at the top of the second round. But it's not a quarterback draft. It's a defensive draft.
Lee Hacksaw Hamilton joining us here on EST Afternoons. Where's the strength of this draft, Lee?
Anything on the defensive side of the football. Okay. Or, as I call it, big boy football. You know, in the NFL, you need bulk. You want defensive linemen. You want warriors or offensive linemen. And that's a whole bunch of these guys. And you have to pay attention to that, especially since we're kind of wafer thin at quarterback and we might only be 1 or 2 deep at running back. So therefore, the defensive side of the football, Abdul Carter from Penn State has just rocketed up everybody's board. They moved him around at Penn State, and they made him an off linebacker, pass rush guy, and he had a monster season. I mean, you have 12.5 quarterback sacks. You have 24 tackles for losses, all kind of 55 pressures, I think was the magic number at Penn State. This kid is a real stud. So he's going to go right there, and obviously Colorado's icon, the cornerback, the wide receiver, Travis Hunter, is going to go probably 2. Carter is going to go 3. And those are 2 marquee guys. And then you get into the run of what do we need versus who's the best player ranked after that. And there's a whole bunch of offensive linemen that are going to fall into place there. But the defensive side of the football, especially at 2-3, and then the load of pass rush edge guys and the guys in the secondary, and there's like 5 to 7 in the secondary that are all going to go in the first round. So answer your question, guys, defensive side of the football and offensive linemen, big boy football.
Lee, we've all seen draft day, and we've all wondered if that's kind of how things go. But does it? You already mentioned kind of the combines and having those meetings and putting players into situations to you look at their intelligence of what they would do. But what else goes into making these decisions and why some players might rise in the draft and some might fall? Is it just Kevin Costner making all those calls?
No. So Joaquin, just look across the table at Hernan, okay?
Okay.
You're interviewing him. So is he a great talent? Yeah, as a talk show host, he might be. But has he got good work ethic Monday through Friday? Well, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Is there an injury history with your co-host? Maybe we can't touch him because he's had a series of injury problems. Is there off-field junk with him? Mm-hmm. So there's so many layers of things that they need to find out about the athlete. That's a great question, Joaquin, about the athlete as to whether or not we're going to invest all this enormous amount of money and this high capital currency with a number 2 pick or a number 3 pick or the 7th pick in the first round. You can't make a mistake on the guy. And, is this guy a student of the game? Is this guy healthy? This guy got off the field problems, etc. So you'll have to tell me. You're looking at your co-host here. Would you draft your co-host? If I put all those parameters there, but that's what happens in these interview sessions and all this background stuff.
Lee, one of the fun parts of the draft is when you hear there's a trades being made and if there's going to be roster players moving or if it's just draft picks. What teams might you see be active in the trade front come the draft?
Well, we got teams that need quarterbacks. That's item 1. We have teams that have some crisis situations that have developed that might force their hand maybe to move up to try to get access to a player that desperately fills a hole. I'll throw one at you. New Orleans has got a lot of problems all of a sudden. They got a Derek Carr potential problem with the salary cap. Derek Carr potential surgery. His shoulder might not be able to play this season. They lost their left tackle who retired in a surprise move 2 weeks ago, Teron Armstead. They just lost Ryan Ramczak, their starting right tackle. He retired this past weekend. So they got holes at the bookend tackle positions and uncertainty at quarterback, and they're sitting there at 9. So the burning question is, what do they do? Do they gamble on Shedeur Sanders? Do they try to trade up and maybe go get one of the best offensive linemen as high as 4? So they have a critical needs in New Orleans. Pittsburgh, what's their quarterback's storyline? What's that situation? That's really unresolved. Does Pittsburgh try to trade up? A lot of people need running backs. Ashton Genty of Boise State is legitimate. That's maybe the 6th pick in the first round. Would somebody trade up to get the pick? Would the Raiders keep the pick, or would they be willing to trade back? How far back do they want to go? So there's a lot of variables there. But I would say New Orleans is one that may have to trade up. New England's had a great run in free agency under the new coach, Mike Vrabel, guys. New England's talking about trading back and just stockpiling assets because it is such a deep draft, but you don't want to go too far back. So if New England's at 4, if they're willing to go to 6 or willing to go to 9, that's fine if they could pick up maybe a second-round pick and just continue to add to the assets that they've got. So there probably will be some trades. I don't know how many are going to trade up. If it's such a deep draft, you can't trade from 21 to 4 because the price would be too steep, but you can trade back a little bit and still get really quality players first round into the second round. Like I said, this is a really, really deep draft.
Lee, great breaking all that stuff down, but I don't know if you caught much of the game last night, but if you did, what was your initial thought of the first game 1 of Kings and Oilers, and who is your favorite to hoist Lord Stanley's Cup this season?
Well, I'll answer that second part of that question when we're done, because I don't want you to disconnect me yet. We're not done. By the way, you're asking a question to a guy whose roots were in hockey. My first career in broadcasting was in doing play-by-play in Major League Hockey in the World Hockey Association. So you're talking to somebody this side of the border that covers the sport intensely. I might be the only bleeping one in Southern California that covers hockey the way it should be covered, but I do. I'm addicted to that. And by the way, I'm married to a Montreal Canadiens fan, so you know how hard that is. So in terms of the playoffs, the first two periods was unbelievable. But the Kings have been playing like that. They've been playing possessed for the better part of a month. And that home record of 31-6-4 during the regular season, that place is a really tough place to play right now. And Rob Blake has done a good job adding to the roster almost on an annual basis, only to come home disappointed because of your Oilers 3 straight goals. But they really loaded this thing. And yeah, we all know about Kempe, and we all know about Kopitar, we all know about Doughty. But what they've done is they are now 3 to 4 lines deep in guys who can pot goals. They help you. They're 6 deep on the blue line, which does not mean Drew Doughty has to play 39 minutes every night. And I was shocked when they made the acquisition of Darcy Kemper, because they said, you're bringing back somebody you got rid of, and it wasn't a great track record. But boy, he's reinvented himself. And he's done, outside of Connor Hellebuck up in Winnipeg, he statistically has just been dominant. And, he made a ton of saves early in that game when it was critical that they not let Edmonton get the momentum early. Had a 2.02 goals against average for the entire season. I think his save percentage was like, 905. Very, very impressive team that Blake has put together, and they're built to win. And for the first time, and I'll use this phrase, you've probably heard this, got receipts in their pocket. They got receipts. There's some payback coming here to the Edmonton Oilers. In these receipts. But, they were dominant. But Edmonton found a way to open it up, and what Edmonton did in the third period reestablishes how brilliant, how explosive, how dangerous the Oilers are. So this series is not over. This sucker is still going to probably go 7. End of the day, Kings won game 1, but as I've tried to caution Kings fans here that email me, it only counts as 1 in the stand. So we'll see if Edmonton can now duplicate their skill and their firepower first period on. But there are stretches in that game last night, guys. I looked at that and said, God, the Oilers must think that the Kings have 7 guys on the ice simultaneously.
Yeah.
They clogged center ice. They never let them get into their skating game. They came back. They went up as 5. They came back as 5. They had more guys in the defensive end quicker than I've ever seen the Kings play like that. So it's going to be a hell of a series. But at the end of the day, they do have receipts in their pocket. Payback. I'm sorry, Edmonton. Payback. And to be honest with you, you ask the question, and I always answer questions with answers. I got an all-Canada Stanley Cup final. Don Cherry back on his Christmas card list. I got Toronto and I got Winnipeg in the finals. Now that can change. There are injuries along the way. You get a hot goaltender, that changes everything. But I got the Leafs and I got the Jets. And from the Oilers standpoint, I want to see them totally healthy. And I know it's not been that way for a while. They are so great. They're obviously 97-29 are so much fun to watch. Little concerned about your goaltending on a 60 this night, and I'm not taking a cheap shot because it's a tough position to play with the firepower and the traffic and all that. But I'd be kind of worried about that. So that's a long answer to that one question. If you want to disconnect me now, feel free.
Dolly, absolutely great stuff. Always love having you on. I'm sure we'll have you on during the summer. We'll see how far the Oilers can go. Where can people find your work, Lee?
I got a website. I write on it every day of the week, leehacksawhamilton.com. It's all written. It's absolutely free. And then like you guys, I got my own podcast, my own YouTube channel, Lee Hacksaw Hamilton. We do a couple podcasts a week. Did a big NFL draft preview podcast yesterday. So if you're into football, you're addicted to what I do. If you like all the other sports, including hockey, because I do write a fair amount of hockey and we talk hockey on my podcast. So check it out. Just leehacksawhamilton.com. You can find it there.
Lee, enjoy the draft on Thursday and keep enjoying all the sports, the NBA, the NHL, and the MLB. We'll talk to you soon, bud.
Anytime. My pleasure, Edmonton. Have yourself a great day. Thanks, guys.
That's
Thanks,
Lee Hacksaw Hamilton. You can find his work at leehacksawhamilton.com. He has Winnipeg, Toronto. I like it. Charles Barkley had Oilers.
Oh, yeah.
And as we say hello to the Winnipeggers, the Hustlerites, the WSTers, I owe you an apology. I wasn't familiar with the Jets game, and they look really damn good. I don't think that's going any further than 5 games. I don't.
Yeah, there's only 2-1, man.
Because I had it on while we were doing pre. Cause sometimes Tommy was on with our visitor report, so I was kind of like I was paying attention, and it's 2-1, Joaquin. But at no point did I feel St. Louis was tying that sucker up.
No,
like the Jets just look dialed in right now. Scheifele's leading them. They're going to get Velarde back at one point. I don't know about Nikolai Eller's status. I don't know if he's close or not, but
no, he's missed. I think he's out for the series. He's week to week, right?
I know Velarde's in a non-contact right now, but he is skating. But that team's just
Dylan Holloway's out. I'm trying to find. Did they say he's might be back for?
I think they said week to week.
Is he?
Yeah.
And just to make Oilers fans a little bit happier today, I think this was one of the reasons that the Oilers were deciding on Holloway, because he's been injury prone.
Yeah.
Even when he was with the Oilers, right? Coming out of college, he was injured. And he was injured for a fair amount of time with the Oilers. And so that goes, like you heard Lee talk about their draft, going into the NFL draft, what they're looking for as players. That was probably, one of the areas of concern with Dylan Holloway. For a young guy, is he going to be injured? Obviously, he had a great regular season and stayed away from that injury bug. But when it matters most, he's banged up.
Yeah, he had a lot of interesting things to say, like Sanders falling and a lot. It's mock drafts.
Yeah.
It doesn't really mean much, but we'll see if he sticks where he lands in the first round. He might have to wait till the second round. But I love the NFL draft. It's always great to watch. It's such a great broadcast. Like, that's what I love it. Like, these analysts know every single player. Like, it is truly amazing.
It's always in Vegas too, isn't it? Now it's always, or it's at SoFi. It was at SoFi last.
Can't remember, because it was always in New York.
Or it was in New York. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I thought it was at SoFi last year? It looked like it was outside. I
think it was. I can't really remember.
NFL draft.
But it's great. Hacksaw, great breakdown. The draft goes on Thursday, starts with round 1, non-Oilers game day, so you can have 2 screens going, watch some NHL playoffs, some NBA, then have the NFL draft. That's probably what I'll do, but it's going to be great.
It's in Green Bay.
It's in Green Bay. Okay. And every team will have their first rounder, which is
that's interesting. That's neat.
I didn't know. I'll be honest. With all this hockey stuff, the NFL's kind of taking a backseat, but now we're going to get full right into the draft.
Funny would that be if there was a rule implemented in the NHL saying you have to keep your first rounder until the draft?
Yeah,
that would be funny, because then you'd get a lot of movement. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
makes it exciting.
All right, we got to get out here, and our last segment's coming up. Then Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne will jump on from 3 to 6, and then right after that, we'll be back tomorrow morning for another full day. Reed will go an extra half hour to 6:30. Then Tommy will jump on live from Hudson's at West Edmonton Mall for the pregame show at 6:30. And, of course, we'll be back around 11-ish for the postgame show. And we'll see if the Oilers can bounce back in game 2. The River Korean Box is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant. All-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. We're back with the last segment here on EST Afternoons after the break. But first up, it's a sports update with Coop.
Game 2, Senators and Leafs is tonight. Toronto took the opening contest 6-2. 3 other games are on tap. Tampa Bay hosts Florida in Game 1 with the Panthers activating Matthew Tkachuk from the injury reserve. After that, Minnesota looks to tie their series at 1 against Vegas, while New Jersey visits Carolina. The Devils trailing 1-0 in that series. And Lou Lamoriello's time as New York's general manager is up, as the Islanders have announced that they are not renewing his contract. Lamoriello has been a part of the team since 2018, winning 2 General Manager of the Year awards. From Seattle, Jason Botterill has been promoted to general manager, with Ron Francis moving from his managing role to become the team's president of hockey operations. And on the court, there's 3 games. The Lakers and Timberwolves tip off in Game 2. LA down 1-0 in the series before the Grizzlies Thunders Game 2 goes down. OKC winning Game 1. And after losing 7-0 to Houston yesterday, the Jays and Astros rematch on a 15-game MLB slate. Chris Bassett gets the ball for Toronto. The final segment of EST Afternoons brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
No, well, the Oilers got to be careful here because they can't just flick a switch. Like, isn't this the nature of being a pro athlete, or quite frankly, a human being? Don't all of us flick switches on a daily basis?
It's the ability to flip on that next level of knowing your role, doing your job. The stakes are higher. It's almost human nature.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The River Cree Resort and Casino presents Bump and Grind Rewind, May 16th, featuring Drew Hill. With Cisco and Genuine, plus DJ Hartman B. Bump and Grind Rewind. Friday, May 16th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Play more tables and games. Play more tables and games. Make the most of your fan game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your fan game. Play more tables and games. PlayMoreGames.ca.
It's 2:49. Final segment here on EST Afternoon as we're live from the William Huff studio. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. Usually on Tuesdays we do Heat and Smoke, but with the game recap, we had to just push it this week, but it will return. We gave Coob the week off with his... he brought some really good questions. I really like that he puts a lot of effort into it. So, Coob, you got the week off from that, but I think we'll still do Zach to the Feud. You cool with that?
Yeah, it's every Friday, right?
Every Friday, buddy. Every Friday.
I got the week off. I was kind of disappointed. I was looking forward to it. I was like, we should all come in on Friday just to do Zach to the Future. That would be very selfish. It was a good Friday. It was good Friday.
All right. Lots of texts, lots to get through here. As of course, Edmonton Oilers dropping the game last night. Game 2 tomorrow. Expect same time, Wednesday, Friday, and then a little bit earlier on Sunday, which is nice. Won't be home too late for that, and we'll see where they stand. Of course, tomorrow we'll be previewing Game 2.
Yeah.
We'll see if Klimberg draws in. Because if you missed it, Knobloch did speak with the media today. Klimberg is a very high possibility he will play. That means Josh Brown likely to come out. Evander Kane is also a possibility, and he says he hasn't decided on a Game 2 starter for tomorrow. So you think we'll find out in the morning skate, or you think we'll have to wait till game time?
I think we would probably have to wait until game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. We need 37 thumbs up to get to 150. Can we do it in 4 minutes? Highly unlikely, but every time I doubt our nasties, they always come through. So we'll see what happens here. Reed Wilkins is coming up with Jay Milne. They'll have a full 3 hours again. They'll recap everything we saw last night. I think Belzy, Boom Boom's joining them as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So tomorrow we'll have Hernan's World. We'll try to get a guest out of LA. Maybe we'll go to DVD, who's down there. He's right there. So maybe we'll get our pal DVD to join us to tee up a game too. And then similar programming as yesterday. Nielsen show will kick it off at 6 a.m. We'll go right into the hangout, followed by the Log Shop oil stream. Then us, EST afternoons. Then Reed Wilkins will take you right up until 6:30. They'll do another half hour, and then we'll jump on for the pregame show. As Tommy will be live from Hudson's at West Edmonton Mall. So if you want to go hang out, make sure get on it and reserve a table. It was awesome last night at BP's. A lot of nasties out there. Unfortunately, the game didn't go the way we all wanted it to go. Was with the dub, but I do believe they will bounce back. Gage, what are you up to today?
Just work.
Watch the games?
Yeah, they'll be in the background.
In your office?
Yeah. Home office.
What's for dinner?
Probably leftovers.
Oh, okay.
Made salmon last night.
Nice.
The old sous vide. That's the way to do it.
How big was the salmon that you have leftovers? Pretty big.
It was huge.
Yeah.
But I sous vide'd the whole thing and then just seared it. It's really good. Even the wife was like, geez, that's good.
Nice. Big Uke says, atmosphere was fun. Pizza was hot. Beer was cold.
Yeah, that's good.
I saw Dusty eat his wings with 2 hands yesterday. It's disappointing. He's such a big dude, too,
You think he's just eating his fingers.
I don't know if you saw the video on Instagram, but Tommy bought him a poutine.
I heard, yeah.
And then he sat the plate down, and as a joke, I went to grab one of his fries. And then Wheels made up with Trev.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I saw him at the Oilers game the other night.
Yeah, he was there. Those dirty glasses, Wheels.
It's you think they're transitions sometimes.
He's a beauty, man. A lot of people said it was a T for Asif, his brother.
Oh,
yeah. So it was fun though. It's great. It's great to be on location. You feel the vibe of the city. It's weird though, because I guess in the intermissions I would talk to Tommy or Eric or the Nasty, so I wasn't really paying attention to the background scene on the TV.
Yeah.
So I was like, is the mosh pit even open? Because I know they didn't open the side one with the tent.
Oh, they didn't?
I don't think they did because of the concert.
Oh, okay.
I could be mistaken.
When you watch the panel, they were the background. You could see the I think the brew house in the back.
Because it was a little cold yesterday too.
Really cold.
Good.
Awful. I went. I was bundled up for the dog walk. I went out after the second to walk the dog, and it was. I was bundled up, man, and I needed it.
Yeah, it was cold. 25 away from 150. We got a minute. Can we do it? Can't wait. Do it. Can't wait.
What do you got going on tonight?
Oh, buddy, I'm just gonna cook some dinner and probably just watch the games and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? You think who wins?
Okay.
Tampa, Florida. Give me your.
I think Tampa wins tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Ottawa wins.
Yeah.
I think Minnesota wins.
Ooh.
And I think Carolina wins.
Carolina's definitely winning. I think I've already said Ottawa's going to win. Minnesota, hey, in Vegas.
I like that team, man. Like they're all healthy. They got the Thrill. They got Boldy. Like Zuccarello's just an old dog that keeps on ticking.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got good. Rossi's really come on this year.
Gustafson's got us.
That's the thing, right?
Got to be big.
He's got to be better. They played that young defenseman that they drafted. It was his first NHL game.
Oh, yeah.
I heard it was up and down because I didn't really watch the game.
Yeah.
I heard he struggled a bit.
Oh,
but it's
really?
a little unfair to play your first game ever in the NHL in
Jeez.
Game 1 of the playoffs on the road in Vegas. So.
Yeah, I mean, his whole family was there.
Yeah.
Like great spot to kick off your career. But yeah, he wasn't. I remember when Makar, his first game was in the playoffs as well.
Yeah,
and I was like, what? How would?
And
he
was
was
good.
so good. I couldn't, but like I go, how? Like because I just noticed he was getting shift after shift after shift. And I was like, how is this guy surviving out there? And not only surviving, but like thriving.
Yeah.
And before you know it, he's starting to reach Bobby Orr's records that haven't been touched in decades.
So back at the old station, I know we got to go right away. Guy used to do the Pipeline show, and I used to produce sometimes. And one day he had Makar in studio, and I didn't even take a picture. I did. Just a young guy. Pareko too was another one that I met through Guy. But I was like, at the time, you don't know what NHLers are going to do because they were like 15, 16 years old. So I was like, regret that. But Makar's an absolute beauty. We want to thank you for tuning in, for the thumbs up. Download our show. Follow us on anywhere you get your podcast. Keep the thumbs up coming. Keep it locked on EST. Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne coming up for Joaquin, Gage, and the Coupe. We'll see you tomorrow. Tee up Game 2 between the Oilers and Kings. Chowders.